Swiggity swordie, let's get that booty.
Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of the Slim Cogcast. It is I, Slim Cognito, and let me tell y'all what's going on this week because it's going to be a lot. You hadn't seen me on the stream for the past week or so. We had a little bit of shit happens IRL, but we recharged our batteries. And if y'all want the full catch up of what I've been doing since then, go ahead and tune in. Tomorrow, being Tuesday, on this November 15th, it will be tomorrow the 16th, and I'll see y'all there. Other than that, bro, it's time to jump in. And now what I've been watching lately, I went ahead, sat down and watched the Injustice movie, the animated DC animated film original, and I got to say, I enjoyed it. Like, I didn't really enjoy the Joker performance that much, but the guy, you know, it was his first time tackling the Joker, and he didn't do a terrible job. It was pretty good. You know what I'm saying? I don't mean pretty good, but it felt like an emulation rather than its own interpretation. But nonetheless, we move on. Still, that the whole plot and everything, even though they were trying to condense all of the Injustice into that, then yeah, it really does show. One of my favorite things about the Injustice run, it really does show how much of a mental game it is for Batman to deal with his villains. It's a lot of psychological shit that comes with it. Dealing with Scarecrow and Joker and on a regular basis is way more of a battle than Superman punching his way out of every other villain that he's had in the past. In terms of the animated series, comic Superman is way more diverse in his problem solving, but I honestly do not think he'd be able to like wholeheartedly handle the little things that Joker is capable of. That's literally he's hard-boiled engineered to fight against the greatest mind on planet Earth. You know what I'm saying? One of the greatest minds, at least. So yeah, I feel Supes probably would lose a good tete-a-tete against the Joker. Now, the way all of this turned out, though, like, it's strange, you know, but I like the solution that they brought forward. By the way, Mr. Terrific is an astounding character still. Just don't miss. He hadn't messed up and done nothing wrong yet. Mr. Terrific is the best. The Flash didn't get no. I am glad that they took Flash out first. To be honest with you, I won't go full into spoiler talk. This is literally the beginning of the movie, kind of. But I'm glad that Flash was the first one to go, because if you consider it, he would literally break everything else. This is one of the things about being I am a Flash fan, okay? The Flash is my second favorite DC hero next to Batman, okay? And I didn't mind that he got taken out because, number one, okay, the best way to take care of him, okay, lure it in and get hit with neurotoxin. He can't handle it unless he got a metabolism, unless his metabolism or whatnot can quickly, you know, work the toxin through him, etc., whatnot. However that's supposed to work, they can come up with some pseudoscientific bullshit, you know what I mean? But honestly, taking in a powerful Joker toxin that's been modified by the, you know, science advances of Scarecrow literally should be the bane of his everything. Like, he gotta breathe, number one. Number two, if his mind ain't right, he can't do shit else right. Alright, so it makes sense to me. And then you have those who are fans of the comic Flash, which would really rather see him flash his way out of every single known situation on Earth just because Speed Force, duh, and everything else. So it's like, and even if it's not Speed Force, some other pseudo super speed, you know, jargon that just gets him through everything. But I'm glad that's not it, because who would want the Flash to steal the show when all of this good story was to be written? Like, no. The only thing that kind of, twisted me a little wrong was Nightwing having to become Darkwing in this sense. But, it's fine. It works, I don't exactly understand why that would happen to work, but it happened. But yeah, it's pretty good actually. I rewatched Apocalypse War a few days ago as well, and my favorite out of the Bat family, out of the kids, is Nightwing Dick Grayson. Like, straight up, I really do like Damian Wayne. I really do like Damian, especially grown Nightwing Damian. But I don't like the fact that he, did that to my boy Dick. So, I gotta give to the one that's been able to weather the storm. Like, what I don't understand about Damian, the one thing that bothers me about his character is that you bring your ass over to Gotham and you see what your father has done, what he's capable of, the things he's achieved, and how much of a warrior your grandfather respects the fuck out of Batman. Your grandfather wants him to be the next heir to the League of Shadows so damn bad, and you got the nerve to undermine him at every turn, not seeing what your mama saw in him, not seeing what your granddaddy saw in him, and not respecting what Dick Grayson, Barbara Gordon, and everyone else sees in the Batman. You just want to be a fucking brat. I want to kill people because it's fun. Like, shut the fuck up. Now, another thing about Damian, I feel the best thing about his character in the recent animated series is that he's fallen in love with Raven. And I dig that. Ain't nobody more perfect for that little stupid kill hungry midget than a woman who is gothic and very much in tune with chaos. She's the perfect catalyst to calm him the fuck down or give him a purpose to be calm and strong for her. It's a match made in heaven. I love it. That being said, I ain't spoiling nothing else. If you played Injustice, the first game, you need to go ahead and check that. If you've read the comic, go ahead and check both of them, the movie and the game, and enjoy it for what it is, okay? If it were to be the same exact thing, it wouldn't hit right. It would hit completely different, and it would be soggy wet, not hit right at all. Alright? So just enjoy it for what it is. Alright? Besides, if the game or the movie did better than the comic, then wouldn't that just make the comic and the work of those artists and writers obsolete? No, it's still worth it to read the comic. So for those who's only played the game or seen the movie, I highly recommend that you read the comic. It's a good read. It's a great time. A fan favorite by many. All that being said, moving forward, I also watched a little something called Shang-Chi finally. I kind of skipped a couple Marvel movies because I didn't watch, what was it? I didn't watch Black Widow, and I need to. I will eventually. Hopefully, because I still want to see what they do with Taskmaster. Because he's I won't say he's a favorite, but he's an enjoyable villain. Very good. And I want to see more. So I'll probably pick that up this coming week. Also, boy, Shang-Chi literally is one of the best Marvel movies out. Like, we talking, it's up there with Iron Man 1, yo. Like, it's up there with the second Hulk movie, The Incredible Hulk, bro. Like, it's up there with, man, it's about as good as one of the Avengers as well. Shit, I enjoyed the hell out of that movie. It was amazing, especially if you love kung fu, boy. It's a great piece of art. It's a masterpiece cinematically. The CG animation was flawless. The actors did a great job, and I love the fact that the supporting main character, well, Katie, I love the fact that she was just a regular Asian girl that's not fitting into the mold of this beautiful Barbie doll K-pop, you know what I mean, mold. She's a plain Jane. And that's amazing. I loved that. She's a regular girl. That's what makes what's her name that's talking about the Mew Mew? Like, that's the beauty of her character. She's a plain Jane, and that's so smoking hot. It's amazing because holy shit. Maybe it's just because I'm older, but well, I'm not that old. But it's just maybe it's just because experience that I prefer seeing a regular woman in a TV show rather than, you know, something that I know is just the creation of a bunch of money put on a human body. Like, yo, like props on that. And she was hilarious. She was hilarious. Just like what's her face from Thor. She was fucking hilarious. And I love that shit. That gets me every time. So yeah. Also, shout outs to the guy who played their father, bro. Oh my god, boy, did he ever kick some ass with them 10 rings, boy. I ain't gonna spoil it. I'm gonna actually stop here. But I need to let y'all know that you need to watch Shang-Chi. You need to watch Shang-Chi. Everything is great. It was cinematically done perfectly. The storyboard, the editing, everything. Perfect. Perfect. This is a perfect Marvel movie, and y'all know this because I believe that everybody's been kind of hungry for a good origin story for a hero. And I think that what's the last origin story we got in the Marvel verse so far, cinematic universe? I think it was Captain Marvel, and that one fell kind of flaccid because they didn't lean enough into the Men in Black thing that it could have been. But at the same time, it was alright. I like the subplot with the black chick and her daughter that turned out to be Monica. So yeah, that was dope, and I really do fuck with that. But yeah, in time we shall see more great works. Now with that being said, we're gonna get off of that. We ain't gonna spoil no more because I really do need y'all to go ahead and watch this. It's amazing. It's an astounding piece of work. You're gonna love it if you haven't watched it already. If you were lagging behind like I have, you need to watch it. So with all that being said, I done said it about 5 times now. With all that being said though, let's jump right off into the news because I really got some rants to get out of the way. Now last week I told y'all about this GTA trilogy and how it looks a little better than the older games, but it bothered the hell out of me. I couldn't completely say that it was like the most I could give them was some sympathy because these are 3 full games, like full length, long ass games. So it makes sense that they would try to delegate some of this heavy lifting to remaster this game to an AI to upscale all the textures and stuff. But holy shit, this AI must have been stupid, and it just don't work. It just don't work. I've been looking at it. I've been looking at the footage. I've seen the bugs, the glitches, the fact that they disabled cheats and stuff. Like all of this, it was just if it was gonna be this bad, y'all shouldn't have pushed it out for release. Cause you couldn't have spent that much money and time making it. Like, no, it's terrible. The rain effect was so trash. You can't even hardly see when you're moving around. It's bad, bro. It's real bad. It's so bad. And now it's so ugly that people have been pissed and asking for refunds and mad at GTA because what at Rockstar. Like, which they rightfully should be. It's terrible. It's getting review bombed all over the place. Over on Metacritic, got a 0.9 user score at nearly 1.5k votes. It's people mad all over the place, and it should be. Don't ever spend no $60 on a game and then they have deliver like this. It's trash. All the music wasn't even in there. The music gone, bro. That's not even GTA. That's part of the thing. This part of the reason why the setting is so key. Y'all fucked it up real bad. I don't know what y'all expected, but here's to hopes that the people will rise up and do your job for you and won't charge the people a penny, because it's a labor of love and we love these games. And the people that you shut down, you shut them down and try to cease and desist them and try to sue them just because you knew that you was finna drop some bullshit, this steaming pile of digital dung on the people. You should be ashamed, Rockstar. This is atrocious. That is bad, and you should stop suing them right now. You've gotten all the money that you thought you was gonna get from this, and back out. That's it. Let these people do their shit, leave them alone, and let them reverse engineer it, and it's gonna be just fine. It's still your game at the end of the day. Stop bitching. You made enough money. You sold millions and millions of copies of 3, Vice City, and San Andreas. You sold millions and millions of copies over several fucking platforms. You must have forgot you were like one of the top selling apps on the App Store for Apple, what was it, the iPad and shit. Like, GTA has been everywhere. You don't need no more money from it. And then GTA 5 made you so much money that y'all had to split up and make separate companies because y'all can't even agree on shit no more. Like, you're fine, bro. Stop being fucking greedy. You're good. You're so fucking good. GTA 5 gave you Nintendo money. That's how huge it is. So sit the fuck down. Stop with this bullshit. Now, all that being said, I was kinda anxious to replay me some GTA shit, bro. I kinda was. But we ain't gonna worry about it. What we are gonna worry about is Doug Bowser over on NintendoLife.com comments on the battle against Joy-Con drift, and Nintendo is making improvements continuously. Now, one of the things that he said, I'm gonna just give you the quotes directly straight dope. The years-long battle with Joy-Con drift, okay? As we've gone through the first 5.5 years of Nintendo Switch, we've observed gameplay, we've observed as people have returned units, how they've worn, and we've been making continuous improvements overall to the Joy-Con, including the analog stick. The latest version of Nintendo Switch OLED has the same updated analog stick that's now available in the original Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch Lite. Yes, for example, car tires wear out as the car moves, as they are in constant friction with the ground to rotate. So with that same premise, we ask ourselves, how can we improve Joy-Con durability? And not only that, but how can both operability and durability coexist? It's something we are continuously tackling. So yeah, basically to sum things up, there's one more paragraph of a quote. Yeah, let's knock it out. The degree of wear depends on factors like the combination of the materials and forms, so we continue to make improvements by researching with combinations are less likely to wear. We mentioned that the Joy-Con controller specifications hadn't changed in the sense that we didn't add new features such as new buttons, but the analog sticks and the Joy-Con controllers included with the Nintendo Switch OLED model are the latest version with all the improvements. Needless to say, so are the analog sticks included in Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch Lite. Separately sold Joy-Con controllers and Nintendo Switch Pro controllers that are currently being shipped. So that means to tell you that yes, they are working on it, y'all. They are doing what they can about it, y'all. And that's important because alright, here's the thing. When it comes to Joy-Cons, it's not just the Joy-Con analog sticks. It's also your PS4 joysticks. And I'm not sure about PS5. I can't speak on the DualSense because I haven't even touched one. But I'm going to just say, analog sticks have always had drift, and it's always been bad. And these materials that keep the analog stick in a neutral position eventually wear down, just explain this in layman's terms, and it will be off-center. When it is off-center, the game will read this as an input when you are actually not touching the analog stick. This happens to every analog stick, and it's been happening since. It's the main reason why I have been replacing DualShock 4s. I don't think I've had that much of a problem with, no, you know what? I did have that problem with DualShock 3s. I was just able to adapt to it. But it was a huge problem, and it needs to be fixed. And it would be great if that were to be done, because these games need to be fixed. It's if we're gonna go forward with analog stick tech, we're gonna have to make more durable components. And I understand that it is hard for them to do because of cost and the materials that they'd have to use, but this is how it is. It sucks to say, but there's no other way around it, I guess. Unless they can make a good alternative to the analog stick, I don't know what they could do about it. But anywho's, that's for them to figure out and for me to hopefully see them do so. Next thing on the docket, GameSpot.com. Activision Blizzard is no longer the most valuable gaming company in the US. And basically this whole article is summed up in the subtitle, which is Roblox has overtaken Activision Blizzard, at least on the stock market. So yeah, this is all speaking in terms of stocks. And right now the Roblox stock is about the worth of 62 billion. It is market cap beyond 62 billion, while Activision Blizzard sits around 52. And EA would be in third place for like 39.7 billion outside of those two. So yeah, that's pretty much the be all end all of this. And the reason I wanted to speak about this is because Roblox has gotten ridiculous, because it's literally a game that's not one set game, but it could be any game, and it fuels so much creativity in the kids. And I do respect that and I enjoy that, and I hope that these kids grow older and hit a point where they can actually use that creativity to achieve some dreams that they have long aspired for, or at least bring some things to life that others would love to see and experience. And let's hope something positive comes from it. That being said, though, it's so many people spending so much money and so much time in Roblox, it's insane. So yeah. Now, over on PCGamer.com, Geoff Keighley promises no NFT stuff at this year's Game Awards. Basically, to sum up the article, he said that what he found out with the previous Game Awards premiere last year, he found out that the Game Awards literally was defined and was better received because people wanted to see the game trailers, and that's what they were waiting on. They wanted game trailers. They wanted to see the games. What about the games? They didn't want to see personalities or people talking and all of this and that. And if so, give them a brief moment and move on. I, for one, enjoyed the interview with Hideo Kojima. He spoke about some real things. He opened up to us and told us some things that he really was going through and had on his mind in terms of game development and writing for another game. So I really do appreciate that. And but I am also self-aware enough to know that not everybody wants that, and the mass populace of people want to see game trailers. I, for one, wouldn't mind seeing at least maybe 2 interviews, and then move on. But hey, we'll see. Other than that, December 9th, Game Awards is coming. And there's no NFT stuff, which thank God, because there's been so many articles I've had the side skirt saying that Square Enix is doing NFT game stuff, and they're hopping on that train, and then others are doing it and all this and that. And the thing about this, I'm gonna let y'all know right now, don't get mad at the companies for doing NFT. Get mad at NFTs in general, because it's not like they're being forced to do it. They're just trying to stay ahead of the curve, just in case this becomes the new thing that influences games, which we kind of hope not, because I don't know. Who knows? The best case scenario, this means that people can make money by playing video games and doing what they love. But then at the same time, the worst case scenario was that it will be overrun and exploited, because whenever there's a system that has to do with money, or any system in general, humans will break that system and find loopholes and abuse it until they can have more than they should, and then gatekeep others from getting it the way they are. And it's already happening. If you've been seeing those AI generated stupid monkey images everywhere, so just look at that and know what's on the horizon if this NFT shit continues. I honestly feel like it should stop at this point. Anyway, next thing on the docket, kitguru.net. Hideki Kamiya, the director of Okami, says that he wants to make a sequel, and I think that'd be interesting. I personally have not played Okami, but I've watched a good friend play it, I guess we could say friend. I'll let them confirm first. I got trust issues. Y'all know this about me. But a good close person. When I say close, a good, very good acquaintance, close person that you could consider a friend, allegedly. I watched them play this, and it was a beautiful experience. It felt like some Zelda mixed in with some, I don't know, I guess you could just say, yeah, it felt like a Japanese folklore centered Zelda game for the PlayStation, and it was amazing. It looked good, it played good, and it seemed fun. I will eventually go ahead and touch it since it does have a PC version, and I would like to. I've changed so much in the past year. I hated buying hated digital games, but as time go on and times get tough with something from time to time when it comes to how many times I'm gonna say time won't give me time. Okay, so the thing is, I've always hated buying digital. I love my physical copies of games, but going PC, I guess I had to deal with it. All right, these digital copies get these good deals. They be around, etc. But you know what pisses me off in my time away, and during this past week in my mental detox, I could not play Titanfall 2 campaign. And it sucks. So yeah, we just gonna move on from that rant. But yes, I would not mind playing the HD version of Okami. It looks nice. It looks like it plays pretty well, and look long as fuck too. If I remember right, they were playing this game for a long fucking time, but it was dope, and I liked it. Some length in it means you can get your money's worth. And lastly on the docket, thegamer.com, Obsidian is reportedly working on a murder mystery RPG inspired by Disco Elysium. Son, do you know how beautiful of a title of an article this is? Subtitle, and it's being directed by the same guy who did Fallout New Vegas. Do you know how much I love every word that just came out of my mouth? Like, yo, I love Obsidian because they made one of my favorite first-person RPGs, being Fallout New Vegas, okay? And the fact that the writing in that game blew my mind then, I haven't seen anything rival it until like with The Witcher. I need this. Also, let me get a sip of water. I feel like my shit's dry. There we go. Yeah. Okay. I don't know why my nose is stuffed up. What the hell? Now, Obsidian is one of my favorite devs out there in terms of like underdog devs. I love them. I know what they're capable of, and I have faith in them. Disco Elysium is one of the best RPGs I have played in my life. In terms of what RPGs are actually supposed to be, like, I don't mind JRPGs, but to be fair, if you played about 20 plus JRPGs like I have, they all begin to blend together, and it just become ooey, you know what I'm saying? Ooh, these moe adorable characters that come together for the power of friendship in order to defeat some big evil, and it literally comes down to the same thing all the time. And most of the time it's hard for me to get into another JRPG because I'm looking for something that's gonna be different, something that's gonna surprise me. I'm tired of fighting dragons, I'm tired of curing poison, and I'm tired of doing this, that, and the third. After playing Golden Sun, that popped my cherry. I can't go back to the basic shit. It's hard for me, okay? The creativity and the uniqueness of Golden Sun out of any other JRPG led me to want more of that. And I ain't gonna hollow my soul out playing more of exactly what that is not. So yeah, But when it comes to Western RPGs, there is such a flavor, a deep umami, such an amazing, rich texture when it comes to Western RPGs, because a lot of people write them off and, you know, say Western RPGs are this, that, and the third, and they're not good. And I know some people that just only like, they would only enjoy an RPG if it's got some kawaii ugu stuff in it. So I just, hey, that's y'all, you know what I mean? Different strokes for different folks. But I'm a diverse type of guy, and I enjoy all things. But the drawback of enjoying all types of flavors is that you don't want to taste the basic stuff all the time. What time is it? Okay. So yeah, I don't want to taste that basic stuff. I want to taste something that's going to light my world up and make me think about what's new or what could come for the future of the genre. Something that reinvents the wheel. Okay. Like, I've yet to play a JRPG system that has peaked beyond Final Fantasy X and the Sphere Grid, and just showing you outright what moves are coming next and everything that you need to know right there before you, and using that mechanic as a part of the combat. Like, that's amazing. And the only new frontier the JRPGs have been exploring lately is just going into the action RPG route. And I feel like that's not it. I feel like turn-based could literally still be interesting. But that's a topic for another day. Let's get down into these Western RPGs right now, because they've been kicking ass in the RPG world hard. Even if it's not just the West, CD Projekt Red had literally lit the whole industry on fire with The Witcher. And if anybody disagrees, you're literally you're just being an asshole. You're just being an oblivious asshole. Let's just be honest here. You have to play these Western RPGs so you can see what you're missing out on and what could make your JRPGs better. Because right now, Disco Elysium is the new frontier to me. This game literally brought a whole new world to the table, just as what was it, what's his face was just as The Witcher reinvented things, just as Final Fantasy X reinvented things as a JRPG. 7 didn't really reinvent much. It was just Final Fantasy in 3D with a new story and a long runtime because several CDs. But when we talking about changing the game, that's what I'm looking for. The trailblazers, those who take the risk and the creative, intuitive energy and create something new and change the game and influence everything. Like the combat system of Batman Arkham Asylum influenced several other games, just like Titanfall influencing so many other shooters. It's just like Half-Life breathing new life into first-person campaigns and making them actually interesting and fun, to the point where every Call of Duty campaign was just Half-Life 1 or 2, either boiled down to the most simplistic forms or turned up to 11 and made to something interesting. So this is what I'm looking for, and boy did they do it with Disco Elysium. I sing these high praises because if you are a fan of RPGs, if you really do enjoy the tabletop aspect and you've never seen tabletop RPGs brought to a digital form properly, because that's really what the Final Fantasies and all these were supposed to be, but it became its own entity thanks to game design and character builds. But when it comes to tabletop, this is it, without all the boring shit that you've seen in the older games that do tabletop and try to, you know, mimic it as much as they could. This is it, Disco Elysium. And if Obsidian is inspired by that game, that means nothing but good can come of it. You have no idea how many options you have that have been fully fleshed out, written, and have become legitimate choices in Disco Elysium, so intricately that sometimes failing is your path to progress and success later on in the game. So I need that. That is amazing writing and good game storytelling. This is what pushes storytelling forward in games. It's so many times. How many times have you played a game and it's so linear that you find a different way to do something and it's not legitimate and the game just says no and gives you a fail state instead so that you can do it the way you're intended to do it? Every time you felt that feeling, Disco Elysium rose to the cause. Okay? So let me go ahead and get off the soapbox. We're going to move on. I'm going to let y'all know that you can go ahead and catch the podcast over on Spotify, Apple, and Google. I be here. We're finna continue tomorrow. It's Tuesday. Check out on Twitter for the trailer of the game that we're going to start. 1 o'clock. Be there. Don't be late. We're going to do an old favorite of mine. And a lot of people's favorites, I believe. So hope y'all enjoy. That being said, this is Slim Cognito. That being said, might as well be my new catchphrase because I can't stop saying shit. It's annoying me already, so it's going to have to be your new best friend. And always remember the channel motto. Intentions are the most important. Actions ain't nothing but loud and words don't mean a damn thing. Y'all take care of yourselves and peace. Ouch. Fuck. Yeah, fuck you.